HQ presents Just Between Friends by Rosie Nixon, read by Sonia, Kaur and Katy Federman. Chapter 1. Aisha. Saturday, 24th April. "Oh no," I sighed, holding the paper between my fingers. It had been on the fridge door for a month. 4 weeks in which I should have read it to the end. Still in my slippers, baggy pyjama bottoms, and a slightly tatty t-shirt, low on style, but one of the few outfits that was still relatively comfortable at this stage of my pregnancy, I padded from the kitchen to the bedroom and stood in the doorway. I looked at him with faint hope. "I don't suppose you read this, did you?" Jason grunted in response. He was half asleep. "Jason," I said more loudly than was strictly necessary. "It says I need to bring a sharing dish to contribute to the lunch." I paused, searching his features for a clue, before adding a loud cursory, "Great, you didn't. So I don't have a sharing dish. Ah!" It wasn't Jason's fault. Joining the baby group had been my idea, and I should have read the paperwork. So now I'll have to leave the house in the next 5 minutes so I can stop by the deli and pick up something overpriced. As I flung open the wardrobe doors and pulled out my maternity jeans and a stretchy mauve maternity top, my mind was already ticking over, wondering whether I should take a nice plate on which to put the shop-bought sandwiches with some foil to cover them, and whether perhaps there were some cherry tomatoes in the bottom of the fridge, which I could add as a garnish so no one would know they were bought. I grabbed my silver pendant and slung it round my neck in an attempt to jazz myself up a bit. Jason had propped himself up onto his elbows. "Is it really that bad?" he said, fixing his green eyes on me, concern mixed with a mild amusement etched across his face. That gorgeous face. He even looked gorgeous first thing in the morning. Damn him. "Yes, it is. I've messed up. You're meant to take food to share with the group at lunchtime. We have nothing in the fridge. The universe is clearly trying to tell me this baby group is a bad idea." I paused and looked at him. "Maybe I won't go." "Baby, come on. You've got to go." "You've been thinking about this day for weeks," he said. He was correct. I had. Weeks and weeks in which I could have been better prepared. I can't face it now. He looked at me quizzically for a moment, probably trying to remember if we'd had a conversation about the letter, whether he was partially to blame here. "It's not your fault. I'm just annoyed at myself," I said more softly, swallowing my frustration. "Plus none of my clothes fit and I feel like a frump. I'm not up for it anymore." "For what it's worth, I like you in that top," he offered, as I pulled it down a bit more, watching it stretch across my impressive chest and large round bump. I ignored his compliment. "You know that food preparation isn't exactly my forte. What hope do I have with no ingredients in less than 5 minutes to make something?" I was brought up by a feeder mother who took great pride in cooking delicious dinners from scratch and was very particular about how they looked. Her signature dish, a version of coronation chicken, made with a blend of spices inherited from Dad's Indian mother and smothered in yogurt, was legendary in certain Leamington spa circles. I'd inherited my love of spicy food from Dad's side of the family, but none of the domestic skills. Though I was artistic enough to make a plate look good, the taste of its contents was another matter. Hence Jason was the main chef in this household. But he wasn't quite as good as at ensuring the fridge was adequately stocked. Oh, why didn't I check the bloody letter? I managed to stop myself from swearing out loud. "I'm sorry I'm not going with you today, Aish," Jason said. "I really am, but I promise you, if you pick up a few sandwiches and pastries from the deli, the other ladies will be really happy." Not many pregnant women turn down deli goods, from what I've learnt. He winked, an obvious reference to my obsession with the almond croissants from our local deli. Anyway, I doubt anyone else has had the time to rustle up a master
Sample complete. Ready to continue?